How's it going, my truant people? Dr. Slacking, the Slacking Doctor, back with the final for your Bowlen Bovines in the PGBL. And this week, in this final, we are taking on my man, TheKillerNacho, and his Miami Dolphiones. If you didn't see the semi-final game, it was up yesterday, so go and check that out. I'm recording this immediately after uploading that and posting it, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I haven't seen any response yet or anything like that, but hopefully you guys have been enjoying a little bit of a flashback with some Gen 7 content. Maybe not, maybe no one watched it and nobody's going to watch this, but hey ho. His side of this battle has been up on his channel for quite a while now, so some of you may have already seen it there, but if you haven't and you want to go check out his side, his link will be down in the description with all the other PGBL coaches. Go and check them out. As I've said, this is a Gen 7 battle, in case you can't tell by this replay and stuff, so if you don't care about Pokemon Sun and Moon at this point, fair play, like, you don't need to watch. But if you're interested in competitive Pokemon in general, there's always something to learn from any generation. Frankly, it applies to all generations. There's stuff you can pick up. So, and if you just follow the PGBL run, then you might be excited to see the final finally uploaded. Before we get into this, I want to give a huge thank you to Root for including me in this season of the PGBL. Really top guy. He's the only reason that I was able to record my battles in Citra this season and everything else. So, yeah, huge thank you to him. And a huge thank you to my opponent for being really good about scheduling this game. We played this in January, way after the season was supposed to finish. So, yeah, huge shout out to him for making sure it all got done and stuff, because I got distracted with a lot of stuff in my little break from Pokemon, and it probably wouldn't have got done if it was left up to me. So, huge shout out to him. Regardless, I know my opponent is a very good player. He beat us in the regular season. And he, I believe, was close to winning the PGBL in past seasons, but has had a little bit of bad luck or bad matchups or whatever else in the past. So, let's talk a little bit about the team. You'll have to ignore the double cursor we've got going on here. If you can see that, I forgot to move my cursor when I was recording the first bit, so my bad. Anyway, look at my opponent's team. He's actually brought the exact same 6 he brought in the regular season. Now, I'm sure most of you won't really remember that, so I'll just talk about it a little bit. I think it's just Hidden Power, Ice Offensive, Mega Manetric, Scarf, Pump, Hydro Pump, Secret Sword, just stabs Keldeo. It looks as though he's Resolute form, which means he is running Secret Sword over Focus Blast, or at least has Secret Sword on deck. Certainly he won't be physical Keldeo if he's in the Resolute form, which looks like he is. For those of you that don't know, you have to have Secret Sword to have Resolute form Keldeo, which it looks like he is. So you can usually tell it's not physical from that. I mean, physical Keldeo is bad anyway, but, you know, it's something you can tell. Last time Espeon was Assault Vest, Magic Bounce, Psychic, Hidden Power, Fire, Shadow Ball, whatever else could take hits from Alakazam and hit it back pretty hard, could take hits from Nidoqueen, hit it back really hard, and hit Scissor on the switch in. My opponent played really aggressively last time, which I'll get into in a little minute as well. Then it was Rock, Garchomp. I don't remember the exact coverage, but I think it was Yachi Berry. Then there was, I think, the Mimikyu's special Z move, Mimikunium Z. I don't know what you would call it, but the Let's Snuggle Forever, I think it's called, Z move, I think. But it could have been Z Ghost. I can't remember last time, but it was Z move, Sword Stance, Mimikyu, and Scarf Ditto. So at least at the sort of face of it, he's brought the exact same 6, but that doesn't mean he's brought the exact same sets. I did this against Obi Jellison in UBL last season, where I brought the same 6, but changed up the sets a little bit. And I think that could potentially be the case here. I said last time, Scarf Keldeo won the game last time, so he sees something in this matchup that I just don't with Scarf Keldeo, because I feel like when your opponent has a Jellicent, Scarf Keldeo is horrific, especially if you don't have a Pursuit Trapper, but because bear in mind, Gen 7, you can Pursuit Trap in the good old days, but he clearly saw something in it last game, because it won the match. I didn't bring Jellicent assuming Keldeo isn't going to be a threat. He won't even bring it. If he does bring it, it'll have to be like Sub-Toxic Taunt to break through Jellicent, but then he beat me with Scarf, so I did bring Jellicent for this final just to make sure that, you know, I didn't want to be that aggressive like I was last time. But let's get onto our team. So I've brought almost the same 6. I brought Jellicent in place of something, I can't remember what exactly, but I've changed up the Nidoqueen to have Pyappa Berry. I did originally have this and then changed it. It means that I can basically stay on the Espeon and try and catch him making aggressive plays, which he did last time, and get off some big hits on him that way. I'm running Crunch on this thing now with a minus speed nature, so that if he tries to basically, last time what happened is I had to switch my Nidoqueen out into the Scissor. He hit him Power Fired my Scissor, and my Scissor died, got 2-shot, and it put me in a really, really bad spot. Whereas this time I can just stay in. If he goes to the aggressive hit him Power Fire, he's going to bounce off me, and I can crunch him down and whatever else. So basically just going to play my Nidoqueen much more aggressively, and that Pyappa Berry frees me up to do that. And that Crunch means the Assault Vest won't help him too much. if he is running the same set again. Jellicent is 3 attacks. This has also got its double stab, earth power, sludge wave, and stealth rocks with the crunch. This is 3 attacks: Scold, Ice Beam, Energy Ball, Recover, Max Fizz, Death. I didn't run calcs or do anything. Like, neither of us really prepped for this that much. I don't think. We both just kind of like, we want to get this season finished. We know we'll have a good battle anyway, so like, let's bring some teams. So I just literally went back into my old team and tweaked slightly. So Max Fizz, Death, just 252, 252 EV spread with the Lumberry. Basically that way sub Toxic Keldeo. Only has to Toxic me twice to get me Toxic, because the Lumberry will heal the first one, if that is what he brings. Energy Ball will break its sub and beat down Keldeo. Means Calm Mind sub Toxic shouldn't be too much of an issue. Give or take. And the Max Fizz Death means it can help me take on Garchomp if he doesn't bring the Keldeo this time, which, of course, like, I had to be prepared that he could bring a completely different team. So, Ice Beam with Max Fizz Death can help me take on the Garchomp. Other than that, Skull's really nice, potentially getting burns and stuff like that. Then we have Dodrio, Sharp Beak again. Basically, this thing is speed ties with Espeon, is the only thing really that can take on +2 Swords Dance Mimikyu, because my team does really, really hate that thing. My draft in general just does not have a good Mimikyu matchup, and maybe that's why he doesn't fear the Jellicent so much, because it is potential setup bait for Mimikyu depending on my set. So maybe that's what he was thinking there a little bit with the Keldeo, I'm not sure. But yeah, so regardless, this thing is the best revenge killer I have to Mimikyu if we've got his Disguise broken. Sharp Beak, Brave Bird guarantees to Oko. That was the design of this set from last game. It's the same again. We do have Pursuit this time, so I can trap the Espeon, because last game he kept not risking his Espeon on the speed ties. Well, maybe I can Pursuit trap it, because it put in so much work last time. I would love to be able to Pursuit trap it. He did fear the Pursuit from the Scissor last time, but not the Dodrio. So this time we have Ockerberry, Scissor. Other than that, it's basically just knock off, Bullet Punch, U-turn. I think Defog. Again, it just basically helps with that Espeon being able to U-turn on it with the Ockerberry for free, guaranteeing to either kill the Espeon or get his momentum off whatever he switches out into. Really, really nice. Hopefully we can use that well. 3 attacks, Roost, Max Speed, Max Special Attack, Zapdos. Well, I was going to run Charty Berry on this, went back and forth, but I think I might have had Charty Berry last game, not sure. But this time I've got the Citrus Berry, because I feel like the Garchomp could just be Outrage anyway, in which case Charty Berry isn't helping me much, so I can just hopefully pivot on an Earthquake, get one big Hidden Power Ice off, and then, hey, if I go down, at least I've chipped that thing down for like 70-80%. Other than that, Thunderbolt plus Heat Wave hits this whole team pretty nicely. I can take hits from things like the Manectric, Keldeo, and potentially Mimikyu too, depending on like where they're set up, what the spreads are, etc, etc. Last up, we have Recover 3 attacks, Mega Alakazam. This thing has like no speed. I just basically really aggressively speed crept his Manectric, I think creeping my Dodrio, and we're running like modest max special attack, so this thing hits so hard. Like, this is Okoing so many things. Like, I think it Okos like Manectric probably. It's certainly after Rocks, like it's just destroying everything with Signal Beam, and maybe Focus Blast, maybe Shadow Ball. I think it's Signal Beam, Shadow Ball, Recover. So yeah, that's the team. Whew, this is the final, so I'm trying to make sure I'm getting all the information you need. I want this to be as analytical as possible. Having said that, I haven't watched this game back properly, so I kind of half watched it while I was recording, but yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to look back at it. It has been a month since I watched it, but I'm going to try and talk through it. So, huge game here. This is the last game we'll be playing in Gen 7, more than likely in a proper full Gen 7 season. Maybe in some tournaments we might get to play some Gen 7. I would definitely be interested in that, but other than that, probably our last chance playing Gen 7, and our last chance to get a title on the channel. I have been able to get some off the channel, but not on the channel. So here he's going to go into Espeon. I'm not going to risk going for the rocks like I did last game, just give him free rocks and potentially let the Garchomp attack later on. So I'm just going to go for the Earth Power. He could hit him Power Ice being aggressive. Last game he was really aggressive. I think this shows that it is Assault Vest again, and this time I'm just going to stay in, because if I go into the Scissor on the Hidden Power Fire, he's going to pop my Ockerberry and then two-shot me, and he's probably not quite in Bullet Punch range. He could be in Bullet Punch range, but I don't know. So I'm just going to stay in and go for Crunch, because, hey, this is why I put Pipe Berry on my Nidoqueen. This is why I put Crunch on my Nidoqueen. If I can catch him being as aggressive as he was last game, then fantastic. I'm going to kill myself an Espeon for no chip at all. Unfortunately, I don't quite manage to do that, so I still want Nidoqueen around, because otherwise Manectric goes crazy against my team. That was why I couldn't risk it ever last time on over predictions and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna save the Nidoqueen and just go hard into Zapdos. If he goes for like an Outrage or a Stone Edge, so be it. I'll have to deal with that. I'll have to sack Zapdos and get something in that can revenge kill this thing. We'll deal with that as and when we have to. Otherwise, we can get Zapdos in, we're guaranteed to live any hit and get off a Hidden Power Ice. He goes for the Stone Edge, he does land the Stone Edge, and we're able to just fire off the Hidden Power Ice at least, and get big damage as our Citrus Berry pops. It could potentially go for the Dragon Claw next turn, but we are static, so if he does that, the potential paralysis is something he probably doesn't want to deal with. He wouldn't be slower than my Nidoqueen because my Nidoqueen is negative speed, but he doesn't necessarily know that, so I feel like he has to go for the Stone Edge again, fearing the static. He's seen that we're not pressure, which means he's got a good chance of missing. 2 Stone Edges in a row, he could potentially miss, and then we would be able to kill this thing. He doesn't miss, he lands the Stone Edge, fair play. Zapdos goes down, which is fine. It doesn't really matter too much. I could have tried to pivot into, like, I don't know, Jellicent or something, but I might as well keep my Jellicent healthy and just get some free momentum with Gato here. Like I said, this thing decimates his team. Like, he's not switching into this. He can't even really go into its Ditto and try and take it on that way. Like, and we have a ton of bulk in our Alakazam as well, so our Alakazam probably has a much higher HP stat, I would imagine, than his Ditto. Maybe not, actually. No, maybe not. Either way, we're able to just trace the Rough Skin, which is really, really nice, and fire off a Psychic here, as he does have to sack the Garchomp. I feel like this is running a little bit slow, so I'm just going to speed this up. Let's speed that up slightly. Oh, is that too fast? As he goes out into Mimikyu. It's hard to get it at the exact speed that the game actually runs at. Maybe this is better. He goes out into Mimikyu, and I can't really stay in. I may as well go into Scissor. I've got nothing to lose by going into Scissor. He should just go for the Shadow Claw, but I should be able to scare him out with the Bullet Punch here. I really should have just gone for the U-turn here. This was a really big misplay by me. I actually just go straight for the Bullet Punch. I don't know why I did this, because the slow U-turn would basically have meant that I had the Orca Berry, so even if he was like taking like Hidden Power Fire or some crap, right, I would have tanked it easily. I would have broken his Disguise with the U-turn. I would have got into my Dodrio and I would have been as a Brave Bird. But my real fear was that if he was like Ghostinium Z and he just went for the Ghost Z move there and killed me before I had broken his Disguise, then I'd be in a position where I'd have to bring in my Dodrio, Brave Bird him, and he'd be able to play rough into my Dodrio and do a ton of damage. So I didn't like that. That didn't seem like a good trade. So I went for the Bullet Punch. It was a really poor play by me. I figured that he would go into his Keldeo on the Bullet Punch, and because I had Jellicent, I don't care about Keldeo, so in my head I was like, this doesn't let in anything bad. I didn't contemplate the Scissor. It was just really poor by me. So here I could just U-turn, but honestly on my team I don't have a lot that wants to take knockoff, particularly. But I do think that would have been my better play with hindsight. I think if I had just U-turned there, I would have kept my Bullet Punch priority around, which could still be really clutch. Other than I would have been in range of the Mimikyu's Shadow Sneak, so maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know, it's tough. Either way, I just go for the knockoff myself. It's my best way of getting damage off on this thing. And now it's going to come down to a speed tie to see who gets to KO each other. And I thought that was probably my better play, as he wins the speed tie and is able to KO my Scissor, which does still suck because now it means that I have to dance around this Scissor, which puts in the work against my team. Like, Alakazam doesn't want to take a Bullet Punch and whatever else, so I just go out to Dutchman the Jellicent here, which I think this is actually the first game we brought Jellicent to since we traded for it. We had Suicune at the start of the season, traded away for Jellicent. I think this is the first game we've brought Jellicent to all season, so shout out to Jellicent for being traded in and not used, as I brought Brillium on. We traded in way more, but anyway. So I'm able to just spam recover once he knocks off my Lumberry. The knockoff damage gets reduced, and I'm able to just spam recover and then go for the Scold on the turn when I get up to a good range of health. This is definitely going too fast, so I'm just going to make it slower. But now it's so slow. Am I doing this the wrong way? Is there like a better way? Either way, we get the Scold off on the Manectric, and I can go straight into my Nidoqueen here. But do I go straight to a Nidoqueen, or do I stay in on the Hidden Power Ice? Do I go crazy here and stay in on the Hidden Power Ice? I feel like I do that. If I remember right, I think I stay in predicting the Hidden Power Ice because I'm like, Hidden Power Ice, 2-shots Nidoqueen. He's going to want to try and get that. He feels like I need to preserve my Jellicent to take on his Keldeo. So he's going to make the aggressive play here because last time I played him, he was a very aggressive player. Yeah, I do. Okay, I thought I did. I was like, I swear I made like some, yeah. And because I got the burn as well, I was like, I'm going to get Residual anyway. That was kind of a stupid play, I'm not going to lie. But I felt like I was in the back at this point, and I needed to make some plays. Yeah, that play around the Scissor with the Ditto was just not good by me. So now I'm going to go out into the Nidoqueen, because even if he 2-shot me with Hidden Power Ice, he would be like so low after his burn damage that I didn't think it mattered. I can't remember exactly why. But I decided, regardless, it didn't matter. I decided that his burn... I also... At this point, I should note that I forgot that I'd KO'd the Garchomp because I wasn't writing stuff down. So I thought the Garchomp was still alive. Then I stay in. He overpredicts, thinking I'll go back to Jellicent, trying to make him die to burn. And I just stay in Earth Power. Like I say, if he'd hidden Power Ice there, he wasn't KOing me anyway. So from his perspective, maybe he just felt it was better to try and catch the Jellicent switch and get a valuable piece instead of just hidden Power Ice in for chip, I guess. I don't think he would have KO'd me. Anyway. Yeah, I completely forgot that he had got rid of his Garchomp, so I was kind of playing this in my head thinking that he had the Garchomp sack, and that at any point he could throw in the Garchomp. So I think that was part of the reason that I didn't want to just bring in Alakazam to revenge kill the Manectric, because I felt like he could just sack Garchomp, bring in Mimikyu on me, and then set up and try and sweep me. And that was a bad situation. In general, Mimikyu setting up is like what I'm trying to avoid at all times here. So anyway, he goes out into Jellicent, and he goes out into Keldeo and KOs me with a Hydro Pump. It would have been super nice if he'd missed, but no can do. Fair enough. We wouldn't have been able to KO anyway. He's going to pivot out with the Keldeo into his Ditto here, and I basically just fire off the Energy Ball because in my head, Garchomp's still alive. I thought that would be a sack, and I was like, well, Energy Ball hits Keldeo, it'll KO Garchomp from how low it is, and it will KO the Ditto if he goes into Ditto, which he's already shown once that he will use quite well as a pivot, so he does go into Ditto, and I'm still thinking the Garchomp's around because I'm an idiot, and that goes down, so that's really, really cool. But here we get into a sticky situation, and this situation is essentially the end game now. We are up 3-2, but Shadow Sneak is going to kill my Mega Alakazam at +2, and Play Rough is going to kill my Dodrio at +2, and Shadow Claw I think will kill my Jellicent at this range. Certainly his Z-move will kill my Jellicent at this range. Bear in mind I am max Fizz Depth, that's why I'm not 100% sure that Shadow Claw will. He might have to be like Life Orb. So at this point I've seen that he seems to be pretty much the same sets as last time. He's shown Yachi Berry Garchomp. He's shown Assault Vest. Espeon, I believe, was revealed from the calcs. He's shown... This Mimikyu has already fired off attack and didn't reveal Life Orb. So we know that he's not Life Orb. Probably Z-move again. So with all that in mind, I'm like, okay, I have to play this assuming he has like the Mimikyu Z or whatever, which will kill Jellicent. So if I stay in here, and I let him fire off the Z-move and kill this, sure, I can go into Dodrio, I can fire for Brave Bird, he can play rough, it won't KO, I'll then kill him with the next Brave Bird after I've broken his disguise, which is fine. Then out comes Keldeo, and Keldeo has to land 2 Hydro Pumps to win the game. That could work, but I also thought he had the Garchomp still around, which didn't help, because I was thinking he had an extra sack, which he didn't have, which was really stupid. So anyway, yeah, I'm kind of thinking, right, okay, he's got these things that he can kind of do. I can go into my Dodrio here, though, predicting the Shadow Claw or the Ghostium Z, and I'll be immune to it, and then I can break his sub and he can't KO me, and then, or I can break his disguise, he can try and sack his Garchomp, he can bring his Keldeo back in, then I can go into Jellicent. I was still playing with this Garchomp sack in my brain. So it's a really tough situation where basically, if he Swords Dances and I switch, I potentially just lose the game. If he Swords Dances, if he attacks when I switch, I potentially just win the game. So it is really, really tough. And because I thought he still had that Garchomp sack, in my brain, like, his better play was just to attack here with the Ghostium Z. So with that in mind, or at least with a Shadow Claw, I don't remember how the Mimikyu Z move works now, but so with that in mind, I'm going to go out into my Dodrio. I'm going to take Stealth Rocks, which sucks, but I'm hopefully going to get in on the Ghost move, and instead we see the Swords Dance. So at this point, this is pretty much game. Like, he has to just land a play rough into me or be Fairium Z, and this game is over. But I can Brave Bird. It sucks I got the 50-50 wrong, but I actually Pursuit here just in case. Like, there's no reason for me not to Pursuit. I don't take Brave Bird Recoil. If he tries to switch, I guarantee to break his disguise, which is good for me later on. It really doesn't matter that much. It's just, it is the better play that I can make if for some reason whatever happens. And we actually dodged the play rough there, which basically locks up the game for us. we got lucky. We got lucky. I won't lie, that dodge won us the game. I would say, to some extent, he does land another Hydro Pump coming up soon. He lands 2 Stone Edges and a Hydro Pump and then misses a Play Rough. It sucks because the Play Rough was the most important one of any of those, but in the sense of RNG, like, there was a lot of inaccurate moves clicked this battle, and I will never deny that the most important one is the one he missed, and that is awful. But at the same time, any of the others could have changed the momentum of this game, and even more crucially, we did lose the speed tie with the Scissor, which then meant our Scissor was dead, which really sucked, and I had to play around the whole thing with my Jellicent differently, which then let his Mimikyu in earlier on in the game, and it just... So it's kind of like, this is the only bit of RNG that went in our favour throughout the game, but it was the bit that seemingly won us the game, because at this position, it did win us the game. But this is the nature of Pokemon, which is why I'm always quite reflective with these things, and why I did say to him, I'm sorry, like, this sucks. This sucks so bad for him that he's essentially just lost a final on a Play Rough miss. But you kind of have to take the pinch of salt with Pokemon of that, like, how different would this game have been if any of those other pieces of RNG had gone differently, right? This is the game we play. So, it really, really sucks. That being said, I'm an idiot for thinking the Garchomp was still alive and playing like the Garchomp was still alive. And I'm an idiot for not thinking that he could switch in his Ditto on my Scissor earlier in the game where I should have just U-turned. So I will take full responsibility for I've made 2 questionable plays. Had I known that the Garchomp was dead there, I probably would have stayed in with my Jellicent and just scolded. Had a chance to burn him, would have broken his disguise, because Keldeo on its own can't beat Lasmon Alakazam anyway. This Hydro Pump I don't think would kill Alakazam anyway. Because we still have Alakazam, right? I think I'm remembering correctly. I'm pretty sure we still have Alakazam in the back. It will show me in a second. We should have 2 Pokeballs, and I'm pretty sure we would just be taking 1 rock switching, and that's it. So I think, yeah. So we would live a Hydro Pump. I'm almost certain we would live a Hydro Pump. I might be wrong. You can go away and calculate if you want, but we had like max HP pretty much. So I'm almost certain we would. And here, this is proof, right? I had to message him apologizing. This is proof. This is how much I thought the Garchomp was still alive. I Ice Beam on this turn. Because in my brain, I'm like, if he goes Garchomp on the Energy Ball and for some reason it lives, I can lose this game still. So I have to Ice Beam, and I'll just keep spamming Ice Beam until this is dead, because I can't let the Garchomp in for free. I realise how stupid that sounds. Like, I didn't want him to crit Hydro Pump my my Alakazam or whatever, which is the other option that could have happened, of course, and then we would have lost. But yeah, there's proof of how much I thought Garchomp was still around. I had to message him being I think I just said, I'm so sorry, like, that was a mistake, I'm not being a dick. Because it looked like I was going to Ice Beam him to death, because he literally cannot touch me. He's locked into a move that cannot damage me. I wasn't ever trying to do that. I wasn't ever trying to, like, just be an arse at the end of a final. Not at all, especially after he's just missed the Play Rough. Like, I wasn't trying to do that. I honestly thought the Garchomp was still alive. So, anyway, GG to my man, TheKillerNacho. We do manage to pull out a 2-0 win in the PGBL finals, making us the Season 4 champion. Season 4? No. UBL is in Season 4. What season is PGBL in? Season 5? I don't know. We are the champion for this season anyway. Yeah, your Bowling Bovines in our final game of a Gen 7 league pick up our first championship on screen, at least. It's really cool. It feels really good. Like I say, we definitely got a little bit of hacks, but it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Like, it's hard to not feel good when you win a final, right? Regardless of if you got lucky, and we did. So, anyway, GG to my man, TheKillerNacho. Like I say, go check him out. He uploads great content, great videos. I'm sure he's probably doing more Gen 8 content than I am, so go check him out. But for those of you that do want to see some Gen 8 Pokemon on this channel, Wednesday, week 1 of the UBL will be going up. So please, if you're not already subscribed, if you whatever new here, follow just PGBL or whatever, subscribe, check that out when it goes up on Wednesday. We've lost a few subscribers since I started uploading. I took a break from uploading. We didn't lose hardly, I think we lost like 1 maybe subscriber from like the 4 months I didn't upload, or 3 months I didn't upload. I uploaded 2 videos since I've been back, and we lost like 4 subscribers. So people started unsubbing when I came back, which is just depressing. But anyway, yeah, we'll be back with Gen 8 content, our first Gen 8 Draft League game on Wednesday, so look out for that. Thank you all for your support during the season. It's been a very spread out season. If you want to go back to the beginning of the PGBL and watch this playlist back through, I'd highly recommend it. It was a really, really good season with some great battles. A ton of fun. So yeah, thank you again to Root for including us in this season. GG against my opponent. And yeah, we have a championship, finally. Thank you so much for loafing around with me, and I'll catch you again next time.